Hey! Look, see, this is what's wrong with the justice system right here. Niggas get locked up and they don't stay that way. Then make it hard to take this shit serious. What, you snitching or something? Shit, nah, man. You know they only gave me like 4, right? You know what I'm saying? I done 15 months. So a good time, I'm like, man, what the fuck? Shit. Yeah, man. So... Yeah, man, it ain't like it was, but it'll do. So who we slinging for? Marlo Stanfield. Come. Yo, man, yeah, I was getting this nice package from Slim Charles, but Marlo got the muscle to hold us down, so that's where we at. Shit, one ball same as the next, man.
Malik Poot Carr is one of the most inconspicuous characters on The Wire. He's one of the original 4 horsemen, the Orange Sofa Crew as I like to call them, with the other 3 being D'Angelo, Bodie and Wallace, and is surprisingly the last man standing come season 5. As it goes, the weakest pawn in Wallace dies first, then the most prominent in D'Angelo, and then the bravest in Bodie. However, Poot is just seemingly there, or at least that's what I thought on my first watch. I was under the impression that Poot was just nothing more than a background character, lucky enough to survive what all of his friends couldn't. I first have to start this video by explaining just why the hell Malik Carr goes by Poot, which for those who don't know, is just a childish way of saying fart, and it's put perfectly by McNulty, where he explains that as kids, you're given nicknames by other kids, and as you grow up, if you're still surrounded by those who gave you the nickname, then you're ultimately going to be Poot forever. Very similar to, say, Dookie, who was more than likely given the terrible nickname by Namond, somebody he stuck around with as a kid, and still sticks around with to this day. And for those who don't know, Dookie is just a childish way of saying poo, which I find very fascinating, as both a poo and a fart have a lot in common, and both Poot and Dookie, whether by coincidence or some sick genius on David Simon's part, also have a lot in common. I'll explain how later on in this video.
Why? Because the man said so, that's why. Wallace ain't no snitch. Man, how you know? How you know where he been running to? He was getting high. I seen him caught. He probably went down to the shore to clean that shit up. Man, if he using it, you know he ain't reliable. Come on, think. Look, the man gave the word, all right? We either step up or we step the fuck off. That's the game, yo. It's the fucking game.
Poot and Bodie, in my eyes, were always both one and the same. They both started out as immature corner boys, yet over time, morphed into strong and reliable soldiers, and then eventually, into mature adults. They both came to the realisation that the game was rigged, and eventually found themselves cornered at the edge of the chessboard. However, this is where the two begin to separate, as throughout the course of the show, Bodie is seen as very brash and outgoing. He'll tell you if he thinks there's a better solution. He'll question your advice if he thinks he knows otherwise, and is always one of the first soldiers to ready to fight on the front lines. Whereas Poot is the total opposite. He takes advice as it comes, and will actually make somewhat of an effort to follow it. Aside from a few instances, he'll rarely question what a higher up is suggesting, and when it comes to war, will be one of the final soldiers to enter onto the battlefield. Not to say that he's a coward, but unlike Bodie, Poot eventually comes to the realisation that for the time being this is simply just a job, one that definitely isn't worth dying for. He's a pawn, and is always going to be a pawn, so why push for anything else, when it can very easily cripple you down the line? Suck it up, do whatever the higher ups say, and when it's time to slip away into the shadows, you can do such without anybody coming after you.
Bodie, come on, man.
When the two finally come to the realisation that the game they've been a part of for all these years has over time seemingly turned into something horrifying and completely unrecognisable, Bodie wants to try and make a difference. He wants to try and topple those he deems responsible. he finds himself on the edge of the chessboard and feels his only option is to attack. Whereas Poot, on the other hand, actually sees the game and those who play it for what it truly is. It isn't something that's just all of a sudden gotten worse because of Marlowe. Rather, it's always been like this, and they just weren't mature enough to see it. The bosses had always killed those they thought had snitched, Stringer Wallace and Marlowe Little Kevin, regardless of whether or not they had all the facts. Poot was able to put himself in the shoes of those at the top, and conceal his emotions so that he could think logically. And when cornered on the edge of the chessboard, the smartest options aren't to either attack or defend. Rather, the smartest option is to simply exit the board.
Yo, can I help you?
I'm looking to work.
Here?
Yeah, you need anyone?
How old are you?
18. All right, man, I'm 15.
I mean, yo, I can give you a form to fill out, but the manager, he ain't gonna hire no one under 17. Hey, yo. You used to run with the boy Naaman, right? Yeah, I used to be on the fair corners.
Oh, yeah, man, I remember you.
Yeah, I just got tired, you know? Shit got old. So I guess you need to bang a while longer, then come back, see if we got something.
The advice Poot gives Dookie, being an 18-year-old, is spot on. Suffer for as long as you have to, and when you're finally able to make it in the real world, put all of the streets behind you, and do so. And this is seemingly exactly what Poot did. He undoubtedly went through hell during his time on the streets, with having to kill his best friend in Wallace, spend 15 months in prison, play dead in a pool of blood to stay alive, and then finally having to abandon his final true friend in Bodie, as he gets whacked on a cold and empty corner. Yet fortunately for Poot, he was somehow able to put all of that behind him, and move on. Whereas Dookie sadly wasn't. The damage he sustained was too life-changing, and he sadly just couldn't survive another 2 years, without needing to do something drastic. A fart will glide through the harsh winds, whereas a pool just stick.
Work it out with the corner crews, all you guys from the terrace coming in like this.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, you best watch your ass, because the slingers out here, they're like to crack babies.
Man, every year, everybody's like, yeah, these kids out here, they're a new breed. I ain't never seen nothing like this before. This the end of the world now.
Look around, you fuckhead. This seem like the dawn of a new day to you?
Can I go now? Or you want to slap me up some more first?
Overall, Poot was a mix of smart and lucky. Am I saying that his intentions from the start were to simply just make do, until able to get a citizen life, and then move on? No, nobody's is. Poot just matured, and smartened up enough, to a point where he realised that the game is, and always was, the exact same. There were always those who snitched, because they thought times were changing for the worse. There were always bosses, who killed their own because of paranoia, and there will always be cops, who thought the corner boys of the past were easier than the corner boys of today. The game will always stay the same, so why make any attempt to change it? Just do your best to follow the rules, and just maybe, you'll find yourself lucky enough to make it out alive.
Sorry about Bodie. I ain't jacking you up. I'm trying to do right for your boy. Who dropped him?
Y'all did. They took him out because he was talking to y'all. Word is they seen him with the police down at Central Booking. So cuff me or kick my ass off this corner before you do me the same.